Sophia.
I'm Gavin.
Danny.
I'm Ethan.
Just to start out, how many of you guys have heard of the 906 Adventure Team? Okay, so do you guys mountain bike? That makes sense. Okay, so kind of going into it, the background of the 906 Adventure Team, it was founded by Todd Paquette in 2014. It started as a small biking group for kids. Todd had mentioned that he had just come off of an injury and he was looking for a bike group to get involved in, and there wasn't really one in Marquette, so he started one. Naturally. The original goal was to get kids outside and challenge themselves. The company is a nonprofit that's supported by races that is put on by the 906 Adventure Team. And these races are Margie, Crusher, and Polar Roll. These races are more commonly known in the Marquette area and in the Keweenaw. Margie is known as the world's hardest single-day mountain bike race in the US. It's 100 miles and it goes from Marquette all the way out to Ishpeming. The Crusher is an enhanced gravel race that's in the Keweenaw. Polar Roll is a fat bike race that's in Marquette and Ishpeming. And these races are used to fund the 906 team. And they mentioned that these races cover about 80% of the funds to run the team, which is pretty impressive. Where is 906 now? The team has over or around 14 youth programs across Michigan, and going into Wisconsin, there's over 1,300 youth participants, which is crazy. 600 plus volunteers, and then the race participants, Margie is 1,700, the Crusher is 750, and the Polar Roll is 700.
So I'm going to be talking about the target market and the demographics and who the 906 company targets and who actually participates. So active, adventurous individuals and families are the main focus, and this means that we have a really large age range because it's not targeted towards one specific, there's kids races and programs and all the way up to the really hard races. So we have a huge range in age, but a lot of like-minded individuals, physically active and outdoor oriented. A lot of the people are middle to upper class, and they do primarily, it's a mixed gender, but mostly males are the ones who are participating in the races and the camps. So I'm going to go over the SWOT analysis of the company. So the strengths are the local reputation. The people who do know about 906 really speak highly of it and positively. They have super passionate volunteers because of this, and it has unique and inclusive programs. The weaknesses are the limited reach. Not a lot of people know about it. I didn't know about it before we started, and it's a really positive in part of the community, and it's just not very known. This is also because of the low digital visibility. There's not a lot, they have a really strong website, but not much outside of that. They have a super small staff because it is a nonprofit, and because it's outdoor and it's in the UP, it's super weather dependent, which is always difficult to plan. Opportunities are their social media. Like I said before, they have a super strong website, lacking on social media. We discussed partnership opportunities with other local companies and SEO optimization. Some of the threats they face are the large organizations like Boys and Girls Club, YMCA. Environment, like I've already talked about, and weather, super unpredictable in the UP, and it affects a lot of their races and programs. And since it is a nonprofit, funding is not always stable and not able to be predicted very well. So those are the major threats.
Going over their current marketing strategy, I would recommend pulling up their website right now and just like taking a look at it. Their website is really well developed. Also, it portrays their message very well. The message of the company is kind of like, do hard things and get out there no matter what. So if you have a second, take a look at it. It's pretty impressive. The other thing that they use is Facebook. On Facebook, they have 10,000 followers, but the like rate that they're getting on their Facebook posts ranges from like 13 likes to almost 300 at times. So the response rate is pretty low. And then one individual, Todd Paquette, who we talked about earlier, kind of is the voice for all of 906. So it's taxing on him to kind of reach all of those programs, and he's very stretched out about what he can post and do. So although the website is developed very well, the Facebook needs some help, and so does their other social media.
Okay, so we talked about their impressive website, and we've talked about the impressive Facebook. What's not impressive is their Instagram. It's bad. They haven't posted in 3 years. The like rate, there was no engagement. This thing was cobwebs and dust. So the game plan is to start using Instagram to target people our age. Todd said 18 to 25 is like the lowest group of people that interact. So one, we need to get away from Todd a little bit, okay? Love him, but he needs a breather, and he needs to be able to run the actual organization and not worry about Facebook for the geezers. So we're gonna hire a part-time social media manager. He gave me a budget of 15 to 20K a year. We're gonna start slow. We're gonna start with little pieces of content, which we'll get into next, build momentum from there, and then launch some bigger campaign ideas. So we're gonna start with some of this right here. 12 to 15-second reels of like local events that we run, trails. It's gonna have quick cuts like whip hand, engaging music, adventurous tone, and then question of the day videos. We're gonna like come to campus, talk to some students, ask them like questions like, hey, do you bike, stuff like that, stuff, NMU does it on their athletic pages, and how-to videos. We're gonna have people submit some questions, be like, hey, I don't know how to fix a chain, or I don't know bikes. But we're gonna have them submit these questions, and then we'll make a little video and answer those questions, a little demonstration. This would be our content schedule. This can change. I mean, if it starts not working, I mean, we don't wanna like keep taking rip shots in the ring, okay? We need to like bob and weave when we need to, so we can adjust that as needed. Maybe the next one. Okay, here are our big campaigns we're gonna launch after, hopefully, the first ideas work. So we got hashtag show906yourtrail. We're gonna ask people to post short self-made videos of their favorite bike trail or ride, okay, and then tag us, use the hashtag. Okay, we're gonna have some prizes, because nobody's gonna do this if they can't get something out of it. I know I wouldn't. I'm gonna guess you guys probably won't. So we're gonna get you featured on our social media platforms, get a little bag of goodies, a shirt, throw something else at you, and free and guaranteed entry to a race of their choice or bike club, because these races are tough to get into. Like 906 PM hits, it's Armageddon. I mean, the streets are on fire. Second major campaign, more than an area code. So we're all about 906. Want to not break away from it, but we gotta understand that 906 is more than the area code in the name. So we will ask people to answer the prompt, how did biking help you find your limits? That's a big thing about like Margie Guess, it's all about testing your limits. So we're gonna ask people, how did biking help you break that, find them, whatever. Prizes, yeah, check this out. Get a bike. This is a bike that 906 is working on right now, it's kind of like in the development stages. But whoever has the best story / aligns best with our organization, they're gonna get that bike, test it, let us know what they think, and then we'll maybe adjust the bike based on their feedback, and then we'll make like a little feature story of them on our social media and website. Okay, here's our goals. Again, these are changeable. We're starting from the rock bottom. I mean, it's like the spider in the spout, okay? We got water dripping on us, it's gonna take a while to like get up there. So we gotta increase our Instagram follower count by hopefully 5 to 8% in the first month, get average engagement per post to 6%, and then we need people watching the videos that we're putting out, otherwise they're not gonna know what's happening. And the campaigns, we're starting at 10 submissions, hopefully, you know, I mean, that's low, but could get higher. We don't wanna start high and then it sucks. Increase impressions by 20% and increase reach by 30%.
Okay, so our execution plan focuses on turning our strategies into action. This stage allows us to outline how content will be created and tracked to ensure that our strategy is both consistent and effective. Our main objective is to maintain a steady momentum and to refine our approach based on the feedback and data that we collect. We can divide our execution process into 3 main phases. This would be the launch phase, the engagement phase, and the optimization phase. During the launch phase, we'll be focused on relaunching the 906 Adventure Team's Instagram with a new tone and a new identity. As we stated, we'll begin producing new video content in the form of 12 to 15-second reels that will showcase the local trails and highlight events like the Polo Roll and the Crusher. For us, we believe that consistency is key, so posts will come up about 4 to 5 times a week in order to reestablish an active online presence. As we produce this content, the captions and hashtags will be centered around 906's adventurous community identity. Once we get consistent posting up and rolling again, we see that our audience starts to re-engage. Our focus will then shift to more interactive content. This will be when we start to do the question of the day series, and the goal is to target students on Northern Campus as well as in other local locations. These videos will be designed to encourage participation within the community and generate content to further expand our reach. We will be measuring our performance throughout the entire process. We will do this by paying close attention to the Instagram page follower growth and seeing how well the community is engaging with the content that we produce. We will then also be taking data from the Instagram's business analytics by checking our reach and impressions, as well as the number of users who interact with the content, as well as when they leave comments and share stories. The team will then analyze which types of content is preferred best, and then will adjust the content posted accordingly.
So we're going to talk about SEO, search engine optimization. It's, as we learn in class, it's important because it builds visibility and it directly drives both growth and revenue. As we said, talking with the owner, it's a nonprofit, so we don't have the biggest budget. SEO actually provides a 20-to-1 return on investment, so that's huge for nonprofits. And we just need to get our website out there. When people search up, Marquette mountain biking or Marquette trails, we want to be on top of the search results. So how does this work? So it works with a web crawler. This is how search engines work. And pretty much a web crawler is an automated software program that browses the internet and it indexes websites. What it's looking for is page titles, headers, links. Do they work? How long does the page take to load? The better code your page has, the higher you're going to be ranked in the search results. The worse code you have, you're just shooting your business in the foot because you guys will be very low on the rankings. So here's just an example. On the left here, we have some bad HTML code. It's very simple. It's just the title, you have the header, and then your paragraph body text. The example on the left is bad because there's no keywords, and the search engine, the web crawler, has no idea what this website's about, and it's just generic. There's nothing about 906 Adventure Team or anything like that. Here, a little bit more code. Why is it good? It's because we have keywords like Marquette, biking, and that's going to put us higher up in the search rankings. Gives context, and we actually talked about our business itself. And keywords. The reason we use keywords is because, again, it goes back to the first thing I talked about. When people are in the area and when people search up anything about trails or competing or anything to do with biking, we want to be on top. And for local SEO, this is massive for us because 78% of local searches lead to an in-person visit or online purchase within the first 24 hours. And as you guys know, Marquette is famous for its nature, biking trails, nature trails, everything. When someone in Marquette specifically searches about biking, we want 906 Adventure Team to pop up. And for our key performance indicators, we want to be looking at our organic traffic, social media engagement, and conversion signups, how many people are actually coming to the events. And with doing that, we think and we know that we can get our organic traffic for up to 40 to 60% through Google search. Event signups increase by 50%, and just overall more awareness and more visibility for our brand.
So in conclusion, we want to make sure we're maximizing our SEO and engaging with our social media to attract more of our aged people, and that is what we have. Next, last one. So any questions?